Hey guys, we are back to more New York Islanders franchise mode, and this is the second time I'm recording this because of audio issues, and it has been an absolute nightmare. I've never been more rattled in my life. So I basically couldn't go through the last recording without hearing an audio glitch like every 10 seconds basically, so I just decided to do it over, and I decided to go ahead and assign some scouts here. I fired, I would say, a good chunk of our scouting team at least, because, well, they weren't good. You know, they're all C's or C minuses in some cases. So I decided to go out and sign a few scouts here. Got a few A's in there, got a B in the US, and then got another B in the AHL, Apostolopoulos. And the AHL scout that I fired to replace Apostolopoulos, or rather, that Apostolopoulos is replacing, was Strombolopoulos. So that was pretty funny. But anyway, just thought I'd show you guys that, as I did not want to waste our time going into free agency. And I know exactly the free agents that I need to get, as, again, I already kind of recorded this. So the first one we're going to be going after is Marco Scandella, 1-year contract, $5.3 million. As we do need some veteran defensemen to help develop our young defenseman in Noah Dobson, as he will be playing in the NHL this year. Next on the list would be David Schlemko, 1-year deal for roughly 3.7 for 1 year. There you go. So get 2 veteran defensemen to help develop Dobson and hopefully Wild. I don't think he'll make the roster this year, just based off how slowly he's been growing, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully, again, he can make the jump, but I doubt it. I know Dobson will for sure. I saw Dobson's overall was already at like an 80 overall or something, so he should be a shoo-in. Next one is Justin Williams. We need some veteran forward depth as well, and I've already seen Mueller's overall. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but he is an absolute beast. So we do need some depth to help out our other rookies other than Mueller. Mueller's a beast on his own, so he doesn't really need any help being developed. He is already, trust me, he is already an absolute beast. But guys like Mike Commodore, for example, who had the, what's it called, the all the A's for the grades, and we're going to be getting another goaltender here, and that would be Keith Kincaid, as he has some pretty impressive numbers from last year, 921 save percentage. I'm not really impressed with Aaron Dell or Malcolm Subban, 881 in 12 games for Dell, and for Subban, he had 903 in 25 games for Vegas, I'm guessing, so the most logical choice here would be Keith Kincaid, and he is going to be, I wouldn't say the backup, but more of like we're going to have a 1-2 punch with Thomas Greiss and Keith Kincaid this year. As again, there's no starter goaltender in the free agency list that I'm really impressed by. Again, I would go after Subban just because he's 26, but I'm really not impressed by his stats in the simulation. These 2 years right here, just 902, 903, no. He's a bad simulator. So, and I've already went through the free agency list to see if there's any potential guys. There is none. Literally none. So, that is it for free agency. Those are all the free agent signings we're going to be making. And I already showed you the scouts, and I believe that is it. Actually, before I forget, I forgot this last time. We're going to have to sign a guy to fill out the cap, because we're going to be like, we're still going to be at 26 million by the time all these guys are signed. I believe I signed, who was it before? Who was it? I believe it was some center, veteran center, Stajan, right? Where is he? All right, you know what? I'll go after him later. We can make that signing in September, actually. So we'll just simulate ahead here to see if we get all these free agents and all the scouts that we went after. So we should. Jaden Rhodes has signed. Very nice. He's a B overall scout. Darren Barnaby, A- overall scout. Very nice. There you go. And Radoslav Svoboda, A overall. And Felipe Hamel, A-. Donovan Apostolopoulos, B for the AHL. Maximilian Gerber, A-. And there you go. There are all the scouts. And then Scandella signed. Williams signed. Schlemko signed. Kincaid signed. And Marleau signed. Very nice. So that is about it. So let's move into the preseason for year number 3. Alright, so we are in the preseason for year number 3. And by the way, my my audio issue, I believe, is an issue with the capture card itself, with at least the program, not the capture card, but the capture card program. So I'm using a different program to record my audio. So presuming that I'm able to sync everything up, the audio should be pretty good because I did a test run with it before, and we seem to be all good to go. So anyway, yeah, Mueller. Currently unknown overall. I know his overall, but I'm not going to spoil it for you because he is a beast. Oh, he's already up here in the NHL. That's good. So I'm going to actually call up Soderstrom here, as we do need 3 goaltenders just for injury replacement. Now, we already have 21 skaters up here, so I'm going to send down Waterspoon, Van de Sompel, and who else? In terms of forwards, I'll send down, I guess, Del Cole. He's an AHLer for life. Oh, right, the salary cap, right. So, hold on, let me go make that signing to fill out the cap, and I will be right back. Alright, so we have signed Matt Stajan to a $14 million contract for 1 year just to fill out the cap here, and we beat the Devils 3-2 in overtime in our first preseason game. We unfortunately had to sim past it in order to get Stajan on the roster, but now that he is on the roster, we can make some moves. So, goaltenders, let's finally do this here. Soderstrom, get up here. And then defensemen, we will send down Waterspoon and Van de Sompel. And then forwards, we will send down Del Cole. There you go. And then in terms of defensemen, that would be 7 right there. So, yeah, that looks good. I don't think, what's his name? Bodie Wild will be making the jump this year. He still looks like he's maybe a minor top 2 defenseman. Again, that's not exact, but that looks to be what he is. And then we will call up Commodore here, as it actually has him at an 81 overall currently, but that's a 3-bar overall, so it's not exact, but he does look to be very, very close, if not actually NHL ready right out of the draft. So that's very, very good. We'll call him up. And in terms of defensemen, we have 7. So that means is this 12 forwards? Let's see. 5, 10, 12. Yeah, that's 12 forwards. We'll call up one more. We will call up, I'm going to say Ragnarsson. Yeah. We'll call up Ragnarsson as the extra forward. Maybe we'll dress him for the preseason. Best lines, and Mueller, 86 overall. 86 overall for Andreas Mueller right out of the draft. First line ready already. And that's fully scouted. 86 overall. What a beast. So, let's see. The games say Miller, Barzell, Wallstrom. I'd rather have Duclair on the first line, and then Lee, Beauvillier, Ho-Sang, and then Williams, Commodore, Wallstrom, Marleau, Cizikas, and then instead of Clutterbuck, we'll have Ragnarsson on the fourth line. There you go. And then the defensive pairs will be Schlemko and Pulak, Scandella and Dobson, Pellick and Mayfield. So this team, it's not great, but you know what? It's coming along. It's coming along for sure. Kincaid with a 941 save percentage. Very nice. So now, scratched our Aho, Soderstrom, and Clutterbuck. That looks good to me. So let's get on with the simulation here. And Bridgeport, best lines, there you go. Alright, so before we get into the simulation, let's check out the draft class, just to see who's available. So Bennett Strite, Toby McLennan, Mark Mathot, Mark Mathot, apparently. Pascal Duret. Ladislav Gaborik. Harold Ryder. Bernard Grandpierre. Joey Parrott. Jameson Westgarth. Darren Kahn. Alexander Safronov. Damian Smabby. Kurt Redmond. Julius Menino. Sawyer McNeely from China, apparently. Oh, man. These names, EA. Oh, goodness. Manny Marsh. Alan Galvin. Dmitry Tikhonov. Kalas Sjostrom. Edward Boynton. Shannon Betts. Vic Banks. Rylan Oshie. UC Vananen. Yanni Kerman. Johan Bjorkstrand. Brian Bowman. Martin Tavares. Skylar Kemper. And then Liam Naslund to round out the top 30. So if I want to make a prediction as to who I would want to go after, it'd have to be Pascal Duret. Obviously, we have nothing on him, so I have no idea what he's about yet. But he is that defenseman ranked 4th overall, so we're going to have to keep our eye on him for sure, as we do need that top defenseman. So we will assign the scouts really quick, and I'll actually do this off screen, so just give me 1 second here, because this is going to take quite a while. Actually, you know what? I'll just let them go on automated until like halfway through the season. We'll manually control the scouts like halfway through the season, but for right now, we'll just let them do their thing. And yeah, we'll edit the lines real quick, as I don't believe I edited the power play and all that. Yeah, Mueller, Barzell, Wallstrom, Pulik, and then Dobson. And then instead of Scandella and Schlemko, I think I'll have Williams and Marleau. That sounds good. There you go. And there you go. So Ho-Sang, Lee Beauvillier. Yep, that looks good. Mueller, Barzell, Wallstrom with Williams and Pulik. And then Lee Beauvillier, Ho-Sang with Marleau and Dobson. Yep, that looks good to me. Pulik and Dobson over here. Scandella and Schlemko. I'm going to switch you guys. And then Beauvillier with, I'm going to say Lee. There you go. And then penalty kill, you got Zizekas, Beauvillier with Pulik and Scandella, and then Barzell and Ragnarsson with Pellick and Mayfield. I'm going to take Mayfield off in favor of Dobson, because he's pretty good. He could hold down the 4th there. And then I'm going to say Schlemko as well. So Barzell, I don't think Ragnarsson's good defensively, or where it needs to be, at least to be on the penalty kill now. So Zizekas, Beauvillier, Barzell. Actually, Zizekas pretty good at face-offs, isn't he? Yeah, 80, around there. So Barzell, and then I'm gonna say Lee. Get that power forward on there. And then this looks good for the most part. Besides the second pair of defense, we'll get Dobson and Schlemko on here. There you go. And then 4-on-4, Barzell and Mueller, Pulik and Schlemko, and then Scandella with Dobson on the second line with Beauvillier and Lee. And then Commodore with Williams. There you go. Pellick and Mayfield. So I'll do the same thing here on the 3-on-3. Get Williams on with Commodore. And then Pulik, Dobson, Scandella. That looks good to me. Barzell and Mueller. I'll get, instead of Mueller, Beauvillier. And then shoot out Barzell, Mueller, Wallstrom, Ho-Sang, and Lee. That looks good to me. And then goaltenders Kincaid and Grice. And yeah, everything looks good here. Let's go ahead with the simulation. And we'll actually, yeah, we'll play a game here, as I'm pretty confident in this audio recording with that nothing's going to be screwed up. And if it is, then I might have to, I don't know what I'm going to do, to be honest, because that means there's a huge problem. Let's go ahead to the game against Washington, and we'll play them in the third period. So, against the New York Rangers, 5-2 win. There you go. All right, sim game, and let's get into it. First period, goal by Ryan Pulock on Holtby. Second period, goal by Hobbs on Kincaid. All right, fair. 1-1 game, going into the third. Let's go. All right, here we go. Face-off for Barzal with Mueller on his left. And Duclair on his right. Pulock gets it to Schlemko. Schlemko's going to take it into the zone, and he puts it offside. Because, of course, he does. My mistake. So, Mueller is number 96, boys. Remember that number. He's going to be a part of this franchise for a long time. I mean, he is an absolute beast. I was trying to get to Mueller. Wilson takes that puck. Crosses the line with it. And feeds it over to Eller. And the Islanders are all over the place right now, but Pulock gets it and sends it for Mueller. The first overall pick from the past draft. Shoots it on net as Barzal tries to get to it, but Bowie gets to it first. Vrana on the boards, pinned by Mueller. Sends it up for Wilson. Wilson going over to Eller. Eller sauces it into the middle, but finds Mueller instead of his guy on Washington. But Eller gets it back. Carlson to Bowie as Mueller intercepts. Mueller, the absolute beast. First overall pick. Shoots it glove side, and Holtby makes the save. Unreal. Mueller feels amazing, by the way, to play with. He's like, I mean, obviously he's an 86 overall, so he's he's probably the best prospect I've ever had out of a draft. In terms of overall. Jews dumps in for Washington as Beauvillier retains for New York as Dobson, number 54, slaps that, but not on net as it went way wide. Dobson tries to retain possession of the puck, and he's battling with Dowd as Scandella gets it back, but not before Juice takes it in himself. Dumped in by Washington. Scandella fights off number 69, I believe, Sundqvist on Washington. Hobbs to Juice. They play catch, and Sundqvist with the shot as Scandella gets that over to Dobson for Wahlstrom. Wahlstrom looking to cut into the middle, but stays on the boards instead. Poked by Hobbs. Him and Wahlstrom battle it out a little bit, and Washington is able to get it up. McIntosh takes that into the corner, and he's tripped up by Wahlstrom, and that is going to be a penalty on the New York Islanders. So Beauvillier, Cizikas, Pulock, and Scandella get out there for the Islanders on the penalty kill. Wilson over to Ovechkin. Or no, not Ovechkin. Vrana. Right there. Just bangs it home. I thought that was Ovechkin at first, the way he looked in the celebration. So, but no, Vrana gets the goal. And with 6:04 remaining, the Islanders, you could see the expressions on the fans' faces. They are not pleased with that defensive performance or by the penalty that was taken by Wahlstrom. And absolutely no one to be found. Leaves Kincaid dry, hanging out to dry. Literally no defense in front. What was Pulock doing? I don't know if I was controlling Pulock, but still, nobody on defense there. Commodore on the faceoff. And good timing, but he loses it to Lars Eller, who gets it to Juice. Up for Eller, and back to Juice. For Eller. Hobbs on the point. Wahlstrom tries to poke at him, but he's able to get it to Juice. Wilson for Juice. Over to Vrana. Over to Wilson, and the Caps are cycling it very well right now. And a one-timer attempt by number 20, Lars Eller on Washington, but he is not able to convert on that shot. As Hobbs has it at the point, blocked in front by Commodore. What an effort by the rookie, number 87. Vrana over to Eller, back for Hobbs, for Juice. The Islanders are not able to break it out, but they are able to now. Number 14, Justin Williams, gets it in for New York as Commodore tries to get it in front. And he trips up Hobbs. That was my bad. Oh, man. That previous penalty about Wallstrom, I don't believe I took, but I definitely took that one with my Commodore. Yikes. Yeah, I've been getting a lot better at not taking tripping penalties in this game, but sometimes it still happens. Alright, so on the penalty kill once more. In the final minute of the game, Kincaid with a nice save. As Beauvillier is pushed off of it by Wheel. Scandella chops that away, but gets it to Dowd in the meantime. As Johansson over to Bowie. Back for Johansson on the point. I was about to say Scandella. No, Sundqvist with the shot blocked in front. Dowd back for Johansson. Shot on Kincaid. Very nice save by him. And Scandella will dump out with 18 seconds remaining. Islanders have to get something going fast here. So they're going pretty much all out in this last shift here, as they cannot get anything going, however. Dobson with the attempted stretch pass to Barzal with 3 seconds remaining. It's not happening. So, good third period, but nonetheless, we lose the game 2-1. Alright, so we are back in the menu. Unfortunate loss to Washington right there, but at least it was only preseason. Let's get into the regular season now with your New York Islanders. And actually, before we get into the regular season itself, let's just see the overalls of all our rookies. I'm particularly interested in Mike Commodore, because we already know Mueller's a beast, like an absolute beast. He's at least an 86. We know that for sure. But we were not sure about Mike Commodore. Andreas Mueller, 9 points in 7 games. What a beast. Duclair with 7 points as well. So, yeah, that first line appears to be clicking. So we will definitely keep that first line together of Mueller, Barzal, and Duclair. Especially for Duclair and Mueller. That is really, really a productive first line. Beauvillier and Ho-Sang and Lee appear to be clicking as well. So definitely need to keep this top 6 together. Puluk with 5 points as well. Ragnarsson with 4. Ragnarsson, right. He's another guy we have to keep our eye on as well. Wallstrom, he's another one. 3 goals this preseason. Marleau and Williams with 3. Dobson with 3 assists. Pretty solid. Pretty solid for him. And anyone else who we're interested in? Commodore, right. He is a guaranteed 80 overall, so he has cracked the NHL roster in year number 1. Well, year number 1 for him, as he is 18 years of age. We have 2 18-year-olds on the roster in year number 3. Who would have thought? Andreas Mueller, the obvious one, because, I mean, 86 overall. How can you argue with that? But the surprise one in Mike Commodore, 80 overall in his first year. 3rd line scorer already. Think about that. 2 18-year-olds. And he was drafted 14th overall. So, I mean, when was the last time a 14th overall pick even cracked an NHL roster right out of the gate? I can't remember. I honestly can't remember. Kincaid, pretty solid throughout the preseason. Looks like he's going to be our main guy. As he did have a much better save percentage than Grice in his 1 game played in the preseason. So, but again, those guys are interchangeable. I mean, it's not like Kincaid is going to be our main goalie throughout the entire series, unless, you know, he plays out of his mind. But we are going to get into the regular season here, presuming we have no one to send down, which it didn't look like it, unless we are going to be sending down Ragnarsson here. Which we might, because he's only a 75 as of right now. I don't think I'll send down Wallstrom. I think he's ready for the NHL. Because what might be holding back his overall would be the defensive and physical categories. But offensively, he's definitely ready. Definitely ready. I would say we'll send down Ragnarsson. And we'll call up, yeah, well, sure, we'll call up Stajan. Why not? He's got that $14 million. He'll ride the bench for $14 million. And then, yeah. That looks good. I don't think there's anyone I want to call up from defense. No, there is not. So we will move on with the season. Actually, we're going to make sure our AHL lines are all good first so that our rookies can grow down there. Now, unfilled, we will get we'll get Clutterbuck in there. I don't want Stajan in there. I'd rather have Clutterbuck. And yeah, that looks good. So, in the minors, let's do the best lines, see what the computer says. So, Kellen Jones, let's get Czek in there. And then Koivula, he's 22. We'll get Ryan Bourque out in favor of Ottoson. And then we'll put Ottoson on the left. There you go. So there's our AHL lines for this year. Ragnarson's playing on the first line this year. He was on the fourth line last year, keep in mind. Only had 10-24 of ice time last year, so he is getting top line minutes there in the AHL. I'll put Bodie Wild on the top 2. I feel like he is ready. Even though it says minor top 4 right now, I feel like that's like a 76 overall. Minor top 2. So he will be there. Instead of LaFranchise, we will put Teubert, our 9th overall pick from this year. And then instead of David Quenneville, we will put in Gryba. Sean Gryba. There you go. Only 44 overall, apparently. Oh, goodness. I'm probably making a huge mistake doing that, but whatever. Goaltenders, I'm going to take Jeremy Smith out in favor of Zane Roenick. And we'll put Hutchinson in the starting role. So there you go. Our 2 elite goaltenders getting the time this year. And scratched, I don't think are anyone we really particularly care about. So there you go. Let's just make sure Ragnarsson is on the power play. Bodie Wild as well. Yep, that looks good. Anyone else who are concerned about who should be on the power play? I don't think so, honestly, because I would rather Czek just play fourth line until he is ready to move into the power play. So Ragnarsson and Bodie Wild are the only ones who are really concerned about down here. I don't know about Bellows. I mean, he could still technically... Yeah, we'll put Bellows on the first line. Yeah, he's on the power play as well. So, yeah, I think we're good here. Yeah, we're good. So, there's the AHL. There's the NHL. Let's get into year number 3. We're going to do 1 month here. First game of the regular season against Minnesota. Let's see what happens. And we're going to actually go into the games here as to see Andreas Mueller's first career goal. First period, goal by Patty Marleau on Devin Dubnyk. Way to get it started for the veteran, and what a spot to score in as well. That's from the right circle, not even the right circle, the right boards, almost on the goal line as a left-handed shot. That is a very, very tough angle for Patrick Marleau. Really, for anybody, really, but, I mean, geez. Okay, second period. That is unfortunate. Goals by Eriksson, Parise, and Suter on Kincaid. Goal by Lee, though, on Dubnyk. Pretty tough angle there as well for him. The bottom circle. Third period, though, and a goal by Ryan Pulock. And unfortunately, we lose 6-3 on goals by Niederreiter. 2 goals by Niederreiter in the third. Eriksson, Parise, and Suter, and then Granlund on Kincaid in the first. I was about to say Granny Smith, but I said Granlund, and then I mixed the two together. Granley. Whatever. The things I say sometimes don't make any sense. Anyway, let's go the rest of the month. Actually, no. What am I doing? We need to see Andreas Mueller's first goal. Right. Game against Ottawa. Come on, Andreas. I know you got it in you. First period. Goal by Josh Ho-Sang on Craig Anderson. Second period. Nothing happening. Third period. Goal by Brady Tkachuk on Keith Kincaid to send us to overtime. Overtime period. Goal by Noah Dobson. His first career goal in overtime on Craig Anderson in game number 2 of the regular season. There you go, Noah. There you go. All right. Game against Boston. Hopefully Andreas Mueller can get his first goal here pretty quickly like Noah Dobson did. So we can move on with the rest of the season here. Come on out. There you go. First period. Goal by Justin Williams on Tuukka Rask. The veterans showing up early in the season here. with goals by Patty Marleau earlier in the first game of the season, and now Williams with a goal on Rask. But McAvoy with a goal from the point on Kincaid. Second period, goal by Josh Ho-Sang on Rask. And third period, goal by Andreas Mueller, but it's an empty netter. Oh, that's unfortunate. Goal by Matt Barzal as well, but man, Mueller. Does that count? I mean, that is technically his first goal statistically, but that's not a... Why did it have to be an empty netter? You want it... Mueller. You want it to be something to remember, you know? Not a standard empty netter. Those Germans, you know, they're always getting those easy goals. No, I'm just kidding. but come on, that doesn't count. I mean, it counts statistically, but we're not going to count it in the simulation. First period, let's see, goals by Barzal and Clutterbuck on Holtby. Second period, goal by Beauvillier on Holtby. Third period, goal by Beauvillier once again on Holtby. 4-0, the final score against Washington, but no real goal from Andreas Mueller. I'm just like disappointed that his first NHL goal was an empty netter. Why couldn't he have just passed it to Barzal or something? Let Barzal get that goal, or Duclair. Come on. I mean, I get he was probably looking forward to seeing his name on the score sheet, but come on. First period, nothing doing. Second period, there you go. Goal by Andreas Mueller on Ben Bishop for his first real NHL goal on a goaltender. Goal by Patty Marleau as well. A third period goal by Jamie Benn, but it is not enough to defeat your New York Islanders as we beat them 2-1. Very nice. All right, now we can move on with the rest of the simulation. And of course, Justin Williams is injured with an MCL sprain until December 15th. All right, so replace player, that's going to put Stajan in there, I believe. Oh, jeez, I don't want Stajan on the third line. Let's edit the lines manually then. Oh, man, and that'd put him on the power play as well. Beauvillier with 6 points in 5 games, good for him. Yeah, that puts Stajan there. We'll put Marleau on the third line with Commodore and Wallstrom. And Wallstrom, good to know, is an 80 overall, so he is definitely staying on the roster. And Barzal is now a 90 overall. What a beast. Duclair is an 83, so not bad. Especially with the amount of points he's been getting with Mueller and Barzal. Well, at least in the preseason he did. Not recently, as the first line, they kind of have to gel a little bit in the regular season, but I'm sure they will. Lee, Beauvillier, Ho-Sang, that line's been going quite nicely. Marleau, Commodore, Wallstrom, yep, that looks good. Schlemko, yeah, all looking good here. Just got to get Stajan off the power play. So Barzal, Mueller, Wallstrom, Pulock, then Lee, Beauvillier, Ho-Sang, Dobson, and Marleau. So instead of Stajan, I will put, let's see, forward-wise, not really a whole lot going on here. Maybe, you know what, maybe Commodore. I don't want to overwhelm him with too much time, though, early on in his career. So maybe Beauvillier is on there, right? Yeah. Duclair, is Duclair on? No, he is not. We'll get Duclair on there instead. So there you go. All right, is he on the power play? No, he is not. Okay, good. We'll go ahead now with the remainder of October. And then we will check out the stats and end off the episode. Don't want this to go too long, but I am okay with it going, you know, normal length of what we usually do. So Edmonton, 5-2 win. We are currently 5-2-0 on the season to start it. But 2 brutal losses right there against Chicago and Florida. Jason Hutchinson is injured with an injured hamstring. Estimated return is October 31st. So that's pretty close a week. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to replace him just yet. 4-3 win against Montreal. Shootout win against the Anaheim Ducks. And what was that against Vancouver? Shootout loss. 3-2. Not bad. 7-3-1 to start the year. Can't complain. I mean, we're probably getting some good production from Matt Barzal. Anders Lee with 13 points. My goodness. What a stud on the second line. Let's see. So, yeah, Beauvillier as well. That second line is really going. Oh man, that second line. Holy, the chemistry between these three must be insane. Anders Lee, Beauvillier, and Ho-Sang. Wow. I mean, I'm not really that impressed with Lee and Ho-Sang. I mean, it's still impressive, but the one who I'm really impressed with is Anthony Beauvillier. I mean, only 82 overall, 85 offensive awareness, and he still has 13 points. Are you kidding me? All right. Barzal with 9 in 11 games. That's good for him. Duclair with 7. Mueller with 7. Marleau with 7 as well. Wallstrom with 6. Commodore with 5. Pulik with 5. Dobson with 3. Williams with 2. Clutterbuck with 1. Scandella with 1. Schlemko with 1. Cizikas with 1. Mayfield with 1. And Aho, Stajan, and Pelech with nothing. Goaltenders, let's see. Kincaid has a .912 save percentage, and Grice with a shutout in the one game that he did play. So the simulation seems to be favoring Kincaid right now. I'm not sure why that is, as they're both... Actually, no. Okay, I thought Grice was an 81 originally, but he is actually a 79. So, yeah, that makes sense as to why the simulation is preferring Kincaid right now. Any rookie skate? Well, obviously, we have a lot of rookie skaters here. Mueller, Wallstrom, Commodore, and Dobson. All doing pretty well for themselves, especially Mueller. I wish Wallstrom and Commodore would be doing better defensively, so that third line is a little weak defensively there, as Wallstrom and Commodore are on the same line. But I'm not going to separate them, as they do need their third line ice time, and Dobson with a +4, so that's good. So that appears to be it for stats. Let's just check the team stats real quick. It's not something we do too often early on in the season, just because it's not something that, you know, at least this early on, has too much of an effect on the simulation, as there's not really too much of a sample size. But it looks like where are we? There we go. So we're scoring right now 2.91 goals against per game. We're kind of down there, 2.64, but you know what? That's fine for this team. That's around where I would expect it. Power play, we are 4th in the division, 18.2. Could be a lot better, but could be a lot worse. We could be Columbus. Penalty kill. Oh my, we have one of the best penalty kills in the division right now. I mean, we're 3rd, but New Jersey and Columbus also have great penalty kills as well. So, I mean, we could be Philadelphia or Carolina right now. With how bad our defensive core is. So, given the status of our defensive core and of our goaltending, that's very impressive. So, I mean, we're off to a solid start. These Islanders, you know, we might surprise some people this year. You never know. Let's check the draft class just before we end things off, just to get a good idea of who is going to be available. So, Durrett is an elite potential. Now, yeah, he's that elite defenseman that we need for sure. It looks like he's a defensive defenseman, shutdown ability, heavy slap shot mobility. Yeah, he's definitely a defensive defenseman, similar style to Marc-Edouard Vlasic. Okay, so now, obviously, if we want Durrett, we would probably have to tank, which it doesn't look like we're doing right now. So, but again, we need that elite defenseman. So what do we do here? Do we make a trade early on to bank on getting a top pick? Like, let's say Ottawa's pick. I mean, I don't know how much value that has right now. It probably has a lot, just given their record 2-7-2. I mean, that is absolutely ridiculous for Ottawa in year number 3. So yeah, they're definitely a rebuilder. I don't know if they... Oh, man, look at their cap space. Yikes. You know what? I mean, that's not that high of a value compared to what it could be. So let's just take a look here. I mean, we have 3 first-round picks right now. If we give up, let's say, Philadelphia's and Nashville's, or even Philadelphia's and our own. Let's see. I mean, would that go through? Or maybe Philadelphia's and Nashville's even proposed trade rejected. Yeah, I didn't think so. Maybe if I could throw a second in there, would that work? No. Okay. I just really want that that elite defenseman, and it seems like Durrett would be that guy, because he's the only, I believe he's the only elite defenseman currently in the top 5. It looks like he's the only defenseman in... Well, no, there's Perot, or Perot, however you pronounce that, but it looks like, yeah, Perot's a medium top 4. So, I really want Durrett now. I really want Durrett. But then again, at the same time, since we're a good team at the moment in terms of our record and the amount of point scores we have, I don't know if I want to tank right now. I mean, of course, if we start going on a slide, then, you know, it might be more reasonable to start tanking. But right now, we seem to be pretty solid. So let me know what you guys think. And I will see you guys in the next one when we continue the Year 3 simulation.